All right, I'm out here on the lake today. I've got the Big Fish 105 with me, the V2. Got the Bixpy motor attached to the pod, and I'm going to be out here doing some tests, trying to do a little bit of fishing with the Feel Free Summer Slam going on, just starting today. Figured, well, might as well get out. We had some storms earlier, and I think we're going to have some later on, so figured I'd get out here, test it out a little bit, see how it is. All right. All right, I'm out here on the water. I'm in a low-seated position, but I may, let's see, I'm gonna switch to the high really quick, just so I can see. And then I'll show you where I'm gonna put the battery and everything on the 105. All right, so one of the great things about the 105 is you've got all that room in the tank well area. Feed that up through there. Make sure I latch it in. And actually right now, I'm just gonna put the battery right on top. It fits right in that little spot right there, on top of the pod. And then, let's see. Yeah, we got a full battery. All right, and this, you can attach it to, let's see, your PFD. You know, you can attach it to your foot, arm, whatever you want. But right now, I'm just gonna attach it right there. All right. Now, I'll be using my phone for GPS, since I haven't attached my depth finder to this yet. So let me see. I'll bring up the. I'm just going to be using the Navionics app. Based on Navionics, let's see here. Speed 10. I'm getting about 3.2. So not bad. I mean, it looks like I'm going a lot faster than that. But we'll try it several times. I'm gonna fish a little bit, come back and see what we can do. All right, I'm gonna take a little pause from fishing. Haven't caught, well, I did catch a bluegill. Take a pause from that. Let me bring up the Navionics app again. I'm just gonna put my paddle away since I'm not really gonna use it. And we're just going to kind of look at different speeds and, see what this Big Fish 105 and the Bixpy J2 can do. Once the Navionics app loads, we'll go ahead and start. But here, let me show you how I have everything. You can see my remote that I have there. I have just an extension piece. These are all just ram balls, ram mounts. And this is actually for a depth finder unit, the head unit on something. So I just use it, use the Velcro that's on the remote, and it brings it closer to me by having these two extensions. And I use this both on the Big Fish 105 and the lure. And actually, I think I used it on my Moken 12.5 as well. And then you can see up front, that's where I have the battery and the kill switch. And then, of course, it's all kind of contained right there. The J2 is attached to the bottom of the DIY pod. All right, this is started. Let's go ahead and put it on speed 1. I have my seat in the high position, and we'll kind of just go and see what it'll do. Looks like right now on speed 1, it's consistent about a 0.8, 0.9 based on my phone's GPS. Yeah, there it goes. It goes up to 1. So pretty much on every one of my kayaks so far, at speed 1, I pretty much get 1 mile per hour on the water. So if you're trolling, you do a lot of trolling using, live bait or even crankbaits. Really, speed 1, You can do a lot with that, and you can troll all day long. Let's go up to 2. All right, so this is speed 6. Remember that the J2 has 12 speeds, forward speeds. So at speed 6, right now I'm getting 2.2 miles per hour. Actually, it feels really good. It feels like a good cruising speed. You know, you're not having your motor wide open. You're not using, you know, a ton of your battery. And if you weren't in, you know, a rush to get anywhere and you were good with cruising at this speed, this is a great speed to be at. It's consistent at 2.3, 2.4. Hasn't really dropped any and hasn't gone up any. So at speed 6, you're probably going to be looking at 2.3, 2.4. Now, with this kayak, I do have 3 rods, of course the battery and everything. I have a little bit of tackle with me. It's not a lot, but I do have the C-Tug with the Sand Trax wheels in my tank well. So that adds some weight back there, but it's not, you know, a ton. Now let's go up to speed, I guess speed 12. Alright, so this is speed 12. Looks like I'm getting right at 3.2. So it seems like it's a little bit, at least based on my phone's GPS, it looks a little bit slower than my lure, but not by much. Not by much at all. And I will say this thing is a lot more stable. I mean, it's what, 33.5 inches, and the lure, I have the lure 10 right now, it's 34. But this thing, I mean, you've got a lot of open room up front. You know, you can kind of see all that room up there. You know, of course, you don't have the front hatch or anything like that, but I'm thinking with this kayak, I may not even mount a depth finder on it. Just keep just the motor. You know, try to keep it as simple as possible. And Bixpy definitely makes it, you know, one of the easiest motors to mount and use. So yeah, looks like speed 12. I'm getting 3.2, 3.3. It looks like that may be the max you get. It's not really windy today at all, so you shouldn't, you know, I'm not going into the wind or going with the wind or against it or anything like that. So I would think that those are pretty consistent numbers, 3.3. Now with my other pods, I do put like foam, like car washing sponges is normally what I use to kind of dampen that sound. But I will say, since the pod and the motor are further to the front, you don't get as much sound as you would, you know, if you were using the lure and the pod were a little closer. I will say, you know, I've tried it on other kayaks, having the, here, let's pause for a second, see if y'all can see that. Bald eagle on the lake. It's amazing to be out here in a kayak. I'm all out here by myself, and you get to be with nature. But what was I talking about? I got distracted by the bald eagle. But you know, I've mounted other, you know, tried different mounts on all of my kayaks, and the pod mount seems to be, of course, the easiest. With the Big Fish 105, I would expect to get 3.3 miles per hour probably on the water. It seemed to be pretty consistent in all of my tests so far. So I'll get back to fishing some and, you know, try it again in a little bit.